Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about something pretty random. I just realized that Love Alarm Season 2 is going to be coming out in a few months, and it just got me thinking about Love Alarm Season 1, and it got me reminiscing about what exactly I watched and what it meant, and did I really enjoy the show, or was I just blinded by a high production value? So if you're interested in a topic like this, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and let's get into the video. So the first thing that got me a bit disappointed in the show was the 8 episodes for season 1 and the gap between when season 1 was released and when season 2 is coming out. That's almost a year, and I'm pretty disappointed because unfortunately, I feel as though season 1 wasn't fleshed out enough to stand alone, and it didn't just leave me on a cliffhanger. There were just so many parts in the plot. There were so many areas in each episode that got me wondering, with such a high production cost, because the show looks really well produced, did they fail to push money towards the writing and the plot? Because it seems to me that they just used Kim Jojo's backstory as the major plot device, and they focused on that too much, that was the only thing they had to really move the story. So the next thing that threw me off was how the world was built. There was like a lack of consistency in the world building, and there was a lack of explanation. Now, I'm not someone who expects for fantasy TV shows or movies to explain every single plot point or give us reasons for why things happen, or, the machine behind, why things occurred that the way they do. However, I don't know how I feel about believing in a mobile app that just scans your finger and is supposed to tell you who the love of your life is. I don't know if I truly believe that. It reminds me of those games that kids play where it can scan your DNA, or it can tell you what your friend is thinking, or it can tell you weird, like your fortunes. It just reminds me of those kind of silly mobile games. So I understand that the movie is built around this Love Alarm app, but I expected some kind of different approach towards it. I would have liked more of an explanation as to how the technology really works, because it's not believable that you can just scan your finger or it can just take your information and it will work. And I also didn't like how it was supposed to be one of the students who was like the boy genius, but that was never really explained, because he apparently killed himself. So did he grow up, or was it a different person who was now the CEO of Love Alarm? So I had a lot of issues with how the story wanted to progress with this fantasy type of app, and I don't think it worked very well, in my opinion. Or it could have worked out if the characters were more consistent and were more believable. So let me move on to the characters and how they failed to make us, or make me as an audience, believe that they were truly in love. So for the characters and the romance that we were supposed to believe, it was a complete fail for me. There was nothing romantically felt between these two characters. Their relationship was as stale as bread. And that's a compliment. Now, I usually, when I'm watching K-dramas, I fall in love with the characters. I really do. I believe their love story, and I'm one of those people who searches after the show if they're still together, if they're friends, if they hang out, if there's a possibility of them dating. And if I love the drama so much, I can't even see these characters making dramas with other people, because I'm so comfortable seeing them together. With Kim Jojo and I can't pronounce his name, so I'll just say the rich guy. With Kim Jojo and the rich guy, they just didn't have that chemistry, and I feel like it was so easy to build that chemistry. And I'm not sure if it's because Kim Jojo had to deal with her past and all the flashbacks, or if the show spent too much time trying to build the Love Alarm universe, or if they were too busy focused on the triangle that was between Kim Jojo, the rich guy, and the guy living in his house. So I just didn't believe that they were in love. And in fact, when they broke up and Kim Jojo gave her weak reason why she broke up with him, I didn't even care. All I thought in my head was, they don't deserve each other because they don't seem to really like each other. They didn't give me a solid reason why they should be together as a couple. There was nothing that linked them together. Yes, they both had problems in their families and they both had issues, but that wasn't strong enough of a reason for me to believe that these characters were connected. And like I said, I don't know if I can blame it on the length of time of each episode, because I know that some shows are shorter. Some shows are like 40 minutes. This one was about 49 minutes to about 50 something minutes. So that's still pretty long, but I just didn't feel the chemistry at all. In fact, I hope that in season 2, I'm more likely to believe it, because even the way the show wrapped up, where the rich guy got a new girlfriend, I felt she was more into him than Kim Jojo. I even preferred him to be with her. I would have loved him for him to move on, even though I know that that's not the story. But I didn't feel the chemistry. It was a huge letdown for me, and I'm not gonna blame it as well on them kissing in like the first or second episode, because it can happen, but the chemistry was just not there. It wasn't strong enough, because I think there was too much noise in the show with trying to explain and give everybody a pretty decent story, but it just missed the mark when it came to a believable romance. Moving on to the second love interest, I don't think I've seen a more pathetic love story since Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, or the stepsisters in Cinderella. He got my heart in the first couple of episodes because I felt sorry for him. We've all been there when you like someone but you don't have the confidence to tell the person, and then the person moves on. And I can imagine that it's much worse when someone who you think is supposed to know you in and out, because that's his childhood friend, somebody who he's really close with. It's pretty disappointing that despite his friend knowing or should know that he would like Kim Jojo, he still went for Kim Jojo. So I felt for him. But I started to be completely disappointed in him, Kim Jojo, and where the show was going when he made it up in his mind that he was willing to destroy his friendship so that he could be with Kim Jojo. And there's nothing wrong with that in retrospect, because he was wronged first and he liked her first. So I don't have a problem with him wanting to be with Kim Jojo after years. But where it gets somewhat disappointing and pathetic, in my opinion, is when he's willing to convince her to love him, regardless of whether she feels the same way. He believes that if he sticks around her and if he makes her laugh, she will have genuine feelings for him. And it's pretty shitty of Kim Jojo to continue with such a relationship. She even tells the rich guy, like I don't know their names because I can't pronounce it very well, so excuse me if I can't say their names, but she tells the rich guy when she's in the car that he's a nice guy and she'll see where it goes. So he's basically been relationship zoned, where she doesn't genuinely have feelings for him, but he seems to be somebody who would be good in a relationship. So that's already a pretty bad way to start a relationship. But he doesn't have a problem with it, and he's just as eager to be in the relationship. The unfortunate part is everybody knows that in season 2, Kim Jojo is going to end up with the rich guy, because that's just how the story is going to go. And nobody is going to be convinced that Kim Jojo and the other guy are going to end up together, because nobody wants to see two people who we know don't like each other that much be together when there's somebody else that could make the main character happier. So it's a losing battle for the second male protagonist, but we're just supposed to believe that there's a chance, and that kind of takes the fun out of it. I mean, sometimes I like to, sometimes I want the main characters to end up together because it's supposed to be like that, but it's more fun, it's more interesting when the second lead seems to have a chance, like they have chemistry and you're not really sure who she'll pick in the end. That's really more interesting. So yeah, that kind of wraps it up for me with the characters and the lack of romance and chemistry between all three of them. The only thing really believable is the hate that Kim Jojo's cousin has for her and the love that the rich guy and the poor guy have as friends. Those are the only two chemistries that I can really get behind and believe. So that was my little rant on season 1 of Love Alarm, and it wasn't a very detailed rant. I mostly just focused on the chemistry between the characters because that's what really threw me off about the show. I feel like I could have ignored a lot of things. I could have ignored the plot just a little bit because it wasn't too bad. I could have ignored the world building because it was kind of shaky, but still wasn't as bad. But the chemistry is something that threw me off because most K-dramas that I watch, the drama is just so believable. I believe the relationships. I believe that the characters themselves cannot live without each other after the drama. That's how good a lot of these dramas are. So I was a bit disappointed to watch such a high production show because it looked so good. It looked well put together. So to see it not have that chemistry built and so clear that I could see it, that got me really disappointed. So if you've made it this far into the video, I hope you enjoyed what I said and my opinions, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video.